All right, awesome. We are so excited that you guys are all here. Welcome to our Thursday night opportunity call before the holiday. I hope everything is just going so well. I know that this time of year can be so many things for people. Like there's so much joy, yet there's anxiety, yet there's stress, yet there's burnout, but then there's so much gratitude. And I just hope that for you, you're in the year of your life, in the phase of your life where you are truly in the space of gratitude and feeling balanced and just so appreciative for where you are. And the reason I say that is because for the first time in a long time, that's where I am this year. Last year at this time was completely different. By the way, my name's Lindsey Gray, for anybody that I didn't say that to yet, none of you. But I am somebody who has been in this type of business for 12 years. I'm somebody who 12 years ago didn't even think that one, I believed in this type of opportunity, but two, I ever believed I would be the type of person who could hold success in a space like this, and let alone the type of success and growth that we have here in this company. So I started 12 years ago in another space, and the reason for me then and there was to solve a problem. So for me, I was very desperate to get out of an eating disorder.
Didn't you say after homeschool you had a book for me?
There we go. I had an eating disorder, and I was pregnant, and I was really struggling with what was going to become of my life once I was had this beautiful little baby that I was going to be able to hold in my arms. But what was the world going to look like? What was I going to be able to provide? What type of life would I be able to give him? And so I saw an opportunity. I jumped in. We don't need to get any further into that, but basically I saw the opportunity, I understood it, I got curious, and I was able to build a six-figure earning business in a year and a half, which was amazing. And then you know, 10 years later, that business started shifting. Not only did that business start shifting, but my marriage uh, continued to shift as it was shifting always, but we're always, for any of you that are in that space, we're always trying to convince ourselves that it's getting better this time, right? So for me, I had also come to this place where I knew that I needed to make some shifts in my home. And so while my business is declining, my marriage is declining, and the business wasn't declining because of my efforts or skill or what I was putting into it, but it was more of just the space that that company was in. So a year ago, I was in a whirlwind of fresh out of divorce, and fighting for my life is what it felt like every single day, for peace and happiness and my finances. And I remember being on the floor multiple times in my kitchen doing dishes where I would just collapse and start crying because I'll always listen to music. And I don't know about you, but music hits me a little bit hard when I'm feeling big emotions already. And my 10-year-old at the time, who's 11 now, he was always the one that would come, and his arms would find their way around me and he would hold me. And I just remember thinking like I was such a not doing a good job as a mother because my 10-year-old shouldn't be the one comforting me. And then sometimes I'd cry myself to sleep at night and the same thing would happen. And I just didn't know how I was going to escape it. And I really didn't have any plan. I had lost all hope. I had lost all belief. I didn't want to lose my house. I was scared, and I had no clue what to do until one day I was on social media because that's where my job is. And I came upon, so Tabitha has been one of my best friends for years now. We worked together in a previous company and we've been friends ever since. And I was watching her, and I know her story, and you're going to hear it a little bit shortly, with her battle with anxiety. And she started sharing about a company where she had found a product that was helping her to feel better from the inside out in a way that she had never experienced before. And I have tried CBDs. I've tried different ones, and I never really felt like they made a difference, but I didn't understand it was for so many reasons why ours makes a bigger difference than any out there on the market. So I reached out to her. I wanted to try the regimen. I heard about the business opportunity. I jumped all in. I started taking the products. And within a week of taking the products, I started having something again that I hadn't had in a long time. And that was belief that my success wasn't over, belief that happiness was for me again, and belief that I didn't need to find myself breaking in my home in these different areas and just thinking this is just life until it isn't, because I had a tool and an opportunity and a vehicle that could deliver me to everywhere I'd been praying for if I just took the steps necessary and took the steps forward. So for me, I leaned into this and it changed so much for me. I remember looking at my 6-year-old, and I say this all the time. So you might have heard it if you've heard me talk before, but it was such a huge moment for me where he said something to me, and I normally am looking around and I'm listening, but I'm answering, and my brain is in multiple places as a single mom and homeschooling mom and trying to do all these things. And he said something to me, and I looked at him, and it was as if the world melted away and I could just see his face and I could just hear his voice. And I remember just like staring at him and putting my hands on his cheeks and saying, "Have you always been this cute?" And he giggled, but he didn't realize in that moment I wasn't just complimenting him. I was having the biggest aha moment of my adult life. And in that moment, I knew I needed to shout this from the rooftops, that it was different. And so I started learning. And one of my favorite things about this is that my story is different, but it's different because it's not postpartum. But our founder and really like the heart of our company, Meredith Cook, she had a story where after pregnancy and during postpartum for her, she wasn't wanting to get out of bed and she wasn't finding the joy. And I feel like all of us in different phases of our lives go through these times where we just need a little extra support. And sometimes we don't know when and how we're going to get it. And we don't even understand sometimes that it can happen inside of us. So with her, she actually learned about hemp and CBD and was using it, and it made huge waves for her in her postpartum journey. And then she wanted to find some that she could give to her children. And yes, CBD is safe to give to anything with a spine, dogs, children, adults, everybody. It's a completely different plant than Mary Jane, as everybody always seems to think they're the same. They are different. So you're not handing that over, right? You're handing over this plant that God literally put on this earth to help us heal in so many ways. So she couldn't find a quality CBD that she would be willing to give her kids. And she said that is not okay. And she saw an opportunity in an extremely unregulated industry to come in and sit on the board. We sit on the board, I forget exactly what it's called, but for clean and like the standards of hemp and this industry, and raise the standards to what people are getting and what people are using, and something that's clean that the entire family can use. So her and her husband Sterling, and then her brother Brooks, and then they partnered with two farmers who have been doing organic farming for years, and they also had already started in hemp, and they together created this company that honestly is, I feel like, the most human driven wellness company that I've ever been a part of or even learned about. You'll never hear them talk about money. You'll never hear them talk about anything except for the fact that our job is to take this and deliver the cleanest, highest quality hemp, and really like harmony bringer to as many people on this earth as possible, to help with so many things that allow us to feel the joy that we're literally here for. So I want to just say this. There was today I was talking to one of my friends and I said, the last couple of days I found myself in this cycle of stress again. And I couldn't really figure out why until I realized it's because we live in a world that tells you to do, 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 do. And we allow our to-do list to be outrageously long that really is not realistic to get done in the day. So we never feel accomplished. We feel like we're doing a lot okay and never anything really, really great. But I woke up today and I looked at my kids in the bed with me and I said, I get to do another day with you. Who cares if the laundry is behind? Who cares if the dishes are in the sink? we get to experience this day however we get to choose it. And today, I choose to give my body the support over and over every single day with these products that I get to give my body the support to live joyfully. I get to decide what's on my to-do list. I get to choose what's important, and I get to tell the world to slow down when it's going a little too fast for me. And an unregulated nervous system does not know how to do that. And that's one of the biggest gifts it's given me in the space of that. And the other space is this year. I would like to say that it is the very first year since I got separated 4 years ago, and I could cry about this, that my kids are getting almost everything on their Christmas list. Not little things to fill the gaps, but the phone that my oldest wants for connection as a homeschooling kid to be able to connect with his baseball friends. Brand new Nintendo Switches that I couldn't even imagine affording before. And it's not about this, you guys. It's not about these material things. But when you're a single mom and you've been fighting for your life for years, and then a business opportunity comes along and not only changes the belief inside of your body, but the belief inside of your wallet that you can say, listen, we can actually have these nice things because we're deserving and we can afford it. And this year we deserve to just feel so taken care of in every single aspect. And that's what this business has really brought. The things that really brought me here, the bonuses when you first enroll, that you have a chance to earn $6,500 in bonuses in your first 4 months. The thing that I love is that I love understanding a comp plan and how to maximize it and teaching others how to get there. This team is amazing because we've found massive success here, but we also are helping people that have never been a part of something like this before or have even been in other companies but didn't have success. We're able to duplicate our success across the board. And it's just amazing because of the product and the company, but also because of the amazing systems and the fact that we can help people get wins quicker here with the bonuses and with the products that we have. I also love that here you get paid on all of the volume opposed to just bits and pieces of the volume, like maybe where I've been before in previous companies. And also that there's something called placement suite where literally this is not a place where we do anything alone. We have multiple people supporting us. We are growing our teams together, literally allowing us to basically like orchestrate this beautiful design of a strong foundation for ourselves and then others underneath us as well, or in our organizations. So I just want to say that I am so beyond grateful every single day. I'm waking up with, and I hit the ground on my knees crying still, but it's for the complete opposite way. It's in complete gratitude for something that I never even knew I needed so much. And so super grateful. And I'm going to hand it over now to Tabitha, who's going to share a little bit more about the company and her story.
Yay, I love a good transformation story, business or products, and we have so many here. So thank you so much for sharing. Okay, my name's Tabitha Sampson. I'm a wife and I'm a mom of two. I live in Illinois. I've been an advocate since July of 2023. So I can't really begin to tell you the imprint that this company has left on my heart. I've struggled with anxiety my entire life. It's kind of just always been my norm. It has affected my life most since becoming a mom, and there's been many days, and maybe you guys can relate, but that I've been robbed of so much joy, with my kids because of panic attacks and anxiousness. And it's a big part of my story and really kind of what brought me into Green Compass. I've always wanted to help people who struggle like myself. And I've shared this story for years as it's been an ongoing story and journey. And I was actually using a CBD brand before I found Green Compass. And I wanted to kind of, I'm pretty picky when it comes to ingredients. And I had actually been diving in for a couple years into ingredients and products and fancy marketing that companies use to look like they're clean, but they're actually not. And there's a lot of BS behind what they're using in their products, but they're saying something else, which fools the consumer. And so I'm very passionate about a company that stands in their truth, and they're very transparent. And so it made sense when I saw Green Compass and I realized what we had here. I immediately saw how transparent they were, and it was actually my husband who was the one who told me like to look into this company. But at the same time, there was a girl that I enrolled under, Emily, and she was kind of messaging me at the same time. So it's kind of a very strange coincidence. But my husband's all about holistic wellness as well, and he knew the effects and the benefits of CBD. And he also knew that it benefited me. And so he was like, you really should look into this. And so had he not urged me to do this, I don't know if I would have even took a second look. So, of course, with the benefits of CBD, I knew so many just desperately needed this like myself. So, because of how many people, I'm going to shift around just a little bit here, but because of how many people we have helped with this incredible plant, our team alone, and I like to share numbers. I'm a numbers person, and I think numbers speak volumes. And maybe because I've never seen anything like this, I've never seen growth like this, I've never been a part of anything like this that has this kind of momentum and this kind of just impact. But just last month, our team did $211,000 in sales just last month. And so I share this number because I think it's powerful how it can all start with one story or testimony or voice. Like I had no idea how explosive this one decision that I made to come here would be. And then bringing in so many people like Lindsey and like so many other women on our team who have just looked for a home and looked for something to fill a void that they've been, that they've really been searching for. So because of our extremely high product retention, which we have a 73% retention rate. Now, this means that people reorder the products. So this is huge. If you have looked into other retention rates, I'm just telling you right now, they're sometimes in the 20%, maybe. And so the fact that we have a high retention rate and that we check so many boxes in this industry, in a very unregulated industry that needs cleaning up because most CBD out there is garbage, it just makes sense why we're growing so rapidly. I also like to add that I feel like I had tried really every supplement under the sun to support my nervous system. It was almost maddening just trying to search and find these solutions and balance my body with multiple things, and so much just trial and error. And one of my favorite things to share is the fact that sorry, let me just see if I can find who's it's the fact that once you start using the products, a lot of times people will see that they get to eliminate a lot of other supplements because this really comes in and it fills so many gaps and their symptoms tend to resolve. And it's so fascinating, really, what happens when our bodies find homeostasis. So let's talk about some other things that make this company and these products stand out. So we're vertically integrated, which just means that we control and we actually own the entire process from seed to seal. So nobody has their hands in this. Like we do it all. And Lindsey and I actually got to go to the farm in July. We earned a trip to the farm in North Carolina where the organic fields are. And it was just amazing. It was incredible to, not only know so much about the company, but then be able to go and see with our own eyes and like touch the plants and smell them and walk in the dirt and just see what a beautiful space and place that they're growing this, and just the heart and so many things about it. It was a beautiful experience. So we're also USDA certified organic. This is not easy to get. We are held really to strict standards to maintain soil and water quality. We only allowed substances that are free of heavy metals with no chemical herbicides or pesticides. I love one of my very favorite things. I think that was just, I don't know why this is so fascinating to me, but when I first joined, and I guess my upline at the time, well, my upline is probably the one that told me this, or somebody did, but there's a 5-mile radius around the entire crop. So there's absolutely no risk of pesticide, herbicide contamination. It's just really cool to me that they have, just every detail is in place, and they have like just made sure this is seamless and safe and just so transparent. And like Lindsey was saying, we've even sat at the round table at Congress helping them pass the Farm Bill, because we're so far ahead of all these other companies. And FYI, if you didn't know this, the FDA is going to come in and they're going to shut down a lot of these companies that aren't doing it right. Because right now the regulations are just like there isn't any. So the FDA is going to come in and they're going to shut these companies down. And guess who's going to be standing? We're going to be standing, and we're just so far ahead of anything. So that's just a really beautiful thing. Coming from a business standpoint, you want to be standing tall when other companies might not have what they need to keep afloat. So independent third party testing. So each batch, well, I should say each product has, I don't even have a product down here, but if you have our products, you know, and if you don't, maybe Lindsey has one right there, but no big deal. But on the bottom of each label, there's a QR code that takes you directly to the certificate of analysis, which shows exactly where the crop was, like the batch and the location of the plant in the field, which there we go. Okay, Kaylee, thank you. There's one. She's showing one. So it's just really cool. It comes up showing third-party testing results and just all the things about the plant. We extract our CBD using the cleanest method, which is CO2. A lot of companies use chemicals to extract. We use CO2. There's a no risk 30-day money back guarantee. So I always tell people, like, you know, some people say, do you have samples? And I'm like, no, not really. Like, as an advocate, I can buy samples, but it's a 30-day money back guarantee. Just try the products. And like, if for some reason you aren't satisfied, then you can return them. So it's also the growth and the momentum and the numbers and all the things is also because we're at the right place, right product, right time with Green Compass. So CBD industry, okay, we are moving, it's a $7 billion industry, and we're moving to a $31 billion industry by 2033. We are growing at a 44% annual rate, which is just insane. So that's really exciting, just those numbers. And just to speak a couple more numbers, when we started this in 2019, or Green Compass came about in 2019, which is just fascinating to me because in 2020, we all know what happened. And so can you imagine starting a company in 2019 and then just moving through it and soaring through it when the world was like kind of shut down? In 2019, a consulting company estimated that we would do 300,000 in our first year. We did 1 million in our first 45 days, and we did 12 million in our first year, and we've doubled ever since. So it just goes to show you, you know, that this product really stands out, and you know, how big and how much of a what's the word, demand that there is in a CBD space with a really clean, true, high performance working product. We also have the collagen industry, if you didn't know, is also exploding, and our collagen is the cream of the crop. I could go on and talk for 10 minutes about our collagen, but I don't have time for that. So please get with the advocate if you have questions about that. But that's really awesome because we're in the space for that, and we have a collagen that nobody else has. We also just expanded into the functional mushroom industry, which is also similar to the hemp industry as far as it needs a lot of cleaning up. And so we're advocating and pioneering for clean functional mushrooms. And again, these are functional mushrooms. They're not like the psychedelic. So these are just functional mushrooms to help with cognitive immunity and different things. So people are starting to really see the benefit of choosing, you know, a natural solution for their health. And it's actually becoming, I feel like, preference, which is really beautiful and amazing. People are desperately looking for something for what we have here, and to find that solution. And so you could be that trusted resource to get it to them if it's something that you're thinking about. So we're also privately owned, zero debt company. And we've really established ourselves over the last 5.5 years, year after year with growth. We are very solid. We have one of the best compensation plans that I've seen, in which our founders are very passionate about. There's no personal sales requirements. Pretty much how it works is if you make a sale, you get paid. If you decide to build a team, they make a sale, you get paid. It's very simple in that, and there's several ways you can earn. Lindsey kind of touched on the bonuses and things. So if you're like myself, and if you were like me and I was listening to this call, or when I heard about this opportunity first, this might have piqued your interest a little bit of the possibility of joining us and advocating for clean CBD. I quickly saw how impactful the work we were doing was here. And I just have story after story. I mean, just this week, I have had multiple stories of women who have just completely transformed. Carla being on here tonight, she just shared a story this week of just beautiful testimony of being bedridden to CBD being the absolute game changer for her. That literally changed. A client that is a friend of my parents that has Parkinson's. I literally watched with my own eyeballs his tremors shaking. This is my firsthand experience with Parkinson's. And again, I'm not making medical claims here, but I'm just literally stating exactly what I saw. But within 30 minutes, his shaking had like, it was probably like 2%. Like it had almost completely stopped. So many things that we're doing here to just bring people solutions and health and to be able to live a really a better quality of life. And I just feel like it's such a beautiful gift for all of humanity. So I realize, and I hope you realize that you would be one of the first to get to share these products with so many, as we only have less than 10,000 active advocates in the US. So that's like so small, you guys. A ground floor opportunity is considered anywhere between 8,000 and 15,000. And so we're right in there. I actually, came from a skincare and makeup company before coming here. And I now realize how small of a target that was. I always thought like, that's a really big target because like all women use skincare and makeup. But if you think about it, there's just so many variables to that, right? Some people won't spend the money on it. They already have a different brand. They are really loyal to this brand, whatever it is, or they don't even take care of their skin to begin with. But you take something that has such a broad market where, like Lindsey said, every human and pet walking the earth has a spine. And so we're literally speaking to kids, elderly, moms, dads, your grandparents, anybody and everybody. And so it's a huge target market, which is really also great for if you're coming from a business standpoint. So it's truly special what we have here. I could not have grasped that or understood it until I came here. I always say that, but you just can't understand quite the gift that we have here until you're here. And each day I wake up and I feel so much gratitude that we get to do God's work with a plant that He put here for our good. That they actually tried to take away by greed. They took it away, but we brought it back and it's here to stay. So with that being said, we have 3 options that you can get started as an advocate. They come with huge savings if you're ready to make an income around what's most important to you. If you want to make an impact on others and be the voice of safer options, I encourage you to get with the advocate who invited you today. Ask the questions and just link arms with us. I say this with experience. You have nothing to lose and so much to gain. Thank you for being on, and we hope to welcome you into our Green Compass family soon. Thank you, guys. Bye.